Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my second update for the Graveyard Project pan. This project is just going by so fast. I created this project a couple of years ago because I am notoriously bad at actually finishing things or meeting my goals on my project pan items, though I do try. And this was a way for me to pull back items to the forefront because I would work on something for many months. It would go back in the drawer to be forgotten about for a very long time. So in this project there are two categories. First are the resurrection items. These are products that have been in projects before. It used to be that you didn't meet your goal on that product, so you're pulling it back out to do so, but now so many people are doing like usage style goals, or maybe you hit pan on it the first time, now you're circling back around to finish it. As long as it was in a project before at some point, it goes in the resurrection category. Secondly, there is collecting cobwebs, and these are products that are severely neglected or maybe nearing expiration. I have the distinction between the two because maybe you have an SPF that isn't really collecting cobwebs, it's not neglected, but you need to focus on it and use it up because it's going to go bad very soon or become less effective. But there are things that I forget about in my collection that are severely neglected. So that's enough explanation. This is the second update. This project ends on October 31st, so we're getting there. We only have the finale after this, and I'm so excited to share my progress with you guys. I think this is the best I have ever done on this project pan. I have 6 products in my project, 2 of which are collecting cobwebs for a resurrection. I'm going to start with collecting cobwebs today. So in the intro, I put in my Hourglass Veil Primer. I started at this red nail polish line. At the first update, I was here and I did successfully finish this primer. This is not something I enjoyed. It was kind of smoothing, kind of mattifying. Wasn't really great at doing either of those things, at least not for me. And this was a very pricey makeup empty for it being so tiny. This was in my collection for such a long time, and I had only used that much of it in all the years I owned it. So I'm so thankful to have this out. I put a spatula down there and everything. I got as much as I possibly could out of there. Yay for a makeup empty. The other collecting cobwebs item I put in last month, and this, or I put in last update, sorry. This is the Buxom Gloss in Dolly. I don't know, this is the full on lip cream formula. It was pretty full when I put it in, and now we are halfway through the U on the packaging. I will mark this. I forgot to say usage, so I used this primer 9 times since the last update. This entire bottle, which was 0.31 fluid ounces or 8.9 milliliters, took 41 uses to finish. This Dolly gloss I have used 11 days, so that has reapplications in there. I don't tally my reapplications. And from the top I have used it 16 times, so I'd only used it 5 times before putting it in this project, even though this is pretty old in my collection. The other full-on lip cream that I finished in the past took 42 uses, so I still have quite a ways to go. What, 36 more uses? 26 more uses? Math is hard. 26 more uses to finish this ish. I am about 1/3 of the way done this. I don't know if I'll have this done, but it is a mauve, which is more of a fall toned lip color for me. So I'm really hoping that I could have this finished for the finale. That would be really great. Now moving on to the Resurrection products, I have 4 of those, 4 items that have been in projects before. Starting off with my Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer, I wanted to hit pan in this. I've used this 11 times since the last update. I've used this entire compact 96 times. I am going to keep this and use it 4 more times so I can make an Instagram post on 100 uses, but I did hit pan in this bronzer. I hit pan on the 92nd use. 92 uses. This is a mini bronzer. I don't think I have a particularly light hand with bronzer, but I do use a more fluffy brush, which is a factor. But this entire thing is so thin. Even with the 4 additional uses it's going to take to get me to 100, I'll be excited to see how much this pan grows. I hit pan right on a ridge of the ring, not right in the center, and every time I use it, it expands a little bit more, a little bit more. So I can see the full center ring and the second ring. I would love to finish this next year. I'm not going to finish it by the end of this year, but I am so happy to have hit pan in a bronzer. So happy about this. This is technically rolling out. Next I have my Physicians Formula Beige Pearl, what is this called? Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls, blah blah blah. Anyways, my goal was to also hit pan on this. I've used it 14 times since the last update, and I hit pan in this too. And again, it's so thin in the center. Now, this I have used 56 times and have pan. I have highlighters I've used 100 times and have not had pan. But this is a very natural glow type highlighter, so I can really pile it on if I want something a bit more blinding. Like, it is buildable, but I like that it's more subtle, more of an everyday glow. I really like this highlighter a lot, and I'm so happy to have pan in it. I think this is my first highlighter pan ever. That's crazy. I'm so pleased with that. I don't know if you can see it that well. So that is rolling out as well. Next I have the MAC Prolongwear Concealer. I've used this concealer 168 times. I've used it 20 times since the last update, and I've had to put this in hot water 2 times because I'm mostly getting air when I'm pumping it, but it is so close to being done. It's still not gone. I can still tap the life out of it enough to get concealer every single day, but that's getting real old real fast. I cannot get the lid off, and I do not want to break it. I want to put this in my back to MAC pile, but so close. This is such amazing value for money. 168 uses on a concealer, and honestly, besides it being a great value for money, this is probably the best concealer I've ever used for someone who has textured under eyes. I have some texture like right here, but also some fine lines. I'm getting older, and this settles a tiny bit, but it doesn't accentuate the texture or the lines. It sets beautifully. It has really great coverage. I love the Prolongwear Concealer. It is an OG fave for a reason. I'm sad that like nobody talks about that anymore. It's truly a favorite, and I'm so close to having that be an empty as well. Lastly, in the Resurrection category, I have my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I will pop in a picture of what this looked like last time because we got some big changes today. This is what it is looking like now. Domino looked me in the eye and then swiped it off the counter or like my dresser or whatever, wherever it was sitting, onto the floor. that dang cat. So that's where this top part broke all over my floor, but the pan in the center, it did not break off when it fell. That is like genuine usage growing that pan. I have my goal as to finish this, but I'm just using it to set my face every day, and we'll see where we get. And it will be 4 months since I rolled this in my last update. I've used it 21 times since then, which for 2 months doesn't sound like a lot, but again, I was not doing my makeup every day, so I'm pretty happy with that usage. I've used this powder 71 times in total, and I'm happy with my progress. Again, this is a product that I don't think will be an empty for 2022, but I should be able to finish quite easily in 2023, and I'll be happy to have this out. So, if you are keeping track, I have 3 of 6 things rolling out. I finished my primer. I hit pan in a highlighter, and I hit pan in a bronzer. I feel so great about this. So that means I need to roll in 3 new items. To replace my Hourglass primer, which was in my Collecting Cobwebs category, I am putting in my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette, again for the Collecting Cobwebs category. This is severely neglected in my collection. I did put this in the 22 makeup products I wanted to pan in 2022, and then I haven't used it yet all year. So this is the oldest palette in my collection. It is a face palette, but it's even older than any of my eyeshadow palettes, I think, which is kind of wild. Realistically, I would like to hit pan in 2 of these products and then be able to declutter it. It's getting too old. It barely smells like chocolate anymore, but for this project, I would love it if I could hit pan in this under eye setting shade, Light Cocoa by the Finale. I don't know if that's going to happen. I will just use it every day. So then I'll have 2 powders in here, but I don't use this matte setting powder under my eyes. It just does not work out. So I would like to use this for setting my under eyes and see where we get with that. Ideally, I'd like to hit pan in one of the bronzer shades, but I don't think that's going to happen in 2 months. The powder still feels so soft. I did not like the highlighter. It's way too glittery for my preferences and does not blend well. So I like these 3 shades here. But my goal for this project anyways is going to be to hit pan in this setting shade. For Resurrection, to replace the Physicians Formula highlighter, I'm bringing back the Champagne Pop highlight. I think this has been in Graveyard Project before. It has been in my Project 100 uses. I have used this highlighter over 100 times, and it does not have pan, though it does have a big dip. So my goal is to hit pan in this highlighter before the finale. I don't know how many uses it's going to take. Again, I've used this highlighter 100 times, but I was not focusing my brush in any one spot. And to hit pan, I might do that. I might not. I mean, sometimes I feel like that's cheating, but also sometimes I don't. But I would love to have 2 highlighter pans in my collection by the end of the year. That would feel so amazing. This is really old in my collection. I bought it when it first launched, and I love it. It's probably in my top 5 highlighters, so I want it to have pan showing. And lastly, for Resurrection, I am trying to finish a primer in my whole collection project pan, so I didn't trade primer for primer, but I did just finish the ColourPop No Filter foundation in Deck of Panning. Spoiler alert, sorry. So I'm going to work on the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. This is the oldest foundation in my collection. However, I've been intimidated to use it up because it has 48 mils or 1.6 fluid ounces. It's 60% more than a regular foundation. There's a lot of product in here, but it's really old. And honestly, I don't know if it's still good. If it's not, I'll roll something else in and just let you know at the finale. And declutter this, but it is old, so if it breaks me out, it's gonna go. We'll just see how it goes. I would love to finish this and have it as an actual makeup empty and not have it go to waste, but my goal is going to be to finish this. It's not going to be finished in 2 months, but I'm going to use this very regularly until the finale. Wow. This was a great update. I feel so amazing about it. Let me know how you are doing on your graveyard project pan. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!